Geminis, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is going to be from March 28th through April 3rd of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link down below because the signs are different. All right, so Gemini, this week we are still in the lunar eclipse cycle. It's been a very transformative month in March, now going into April, where I think we can apply a lot of these things that have been coming to us in terms of, particularly last week, in terms of that lunar eclipse in Virgo. So that's been specifically involving matters relating to your roots in life. Might be your home matters, might be family matters, might be your health for some of you. And so whatever those shifts and changes or illuminations were from last week, it's an excellent week to work with it constructively, to implement this energy into your life. Now, this is all in contrast to the fact that your life path is shifting into a new direction. You know, for the next roughly 2 years, you've got a lot of support here for you to connect either with those around you, such as maybe your community or the marketplace with the third house, maybe doing some writing or some learning. You know, some light socializing in that sense. But if it's more introverted, maybe doing some of that writing, reading, etc. And a lot of this too is reflective because Jupiter is retrograde here. So it's good to still go with the flow and adapt in terms of what these new things are so that you can have more of this practical energy in your life. Now, with these illuminations, though, of your fourth house moving forward with that, we do have some important aspects this week. I do want to say that there's a lot of energy here in your 10th house this week. So this is the house of your public image, your career, your work, okay, these kinds of things, your legacy, the big success stuff in your life. So you've got the sun here, which means you're gaining energy, you're gaining prana by focusing on this area, which I think is excellent. Right now, your ruler's here, so you probably are thinking about it and working with it practically at the moment and will continue this week. And Venus is shifting into here this week, so I think you can enjoy it quite a bit, maybe meeting people in the work sphere or with your public life or whatever it might be. So with that, we are still coming off of some aspects from March, and this is going to be particularly 2, which is Jupiter squaring up to Saturn, and also the South Node conjoining up to Chiron. So these are going to be dissipating as we go into April. So the key with this is that there are things that perhaps you are having to be patient with and work with constructively when it does come to the social elements of life, or it does come to the writing or exchanging or communicating things which are being highlighted. And that's Saturn in your 6th house, suggesting that maybe it's about getting the routine in order, the health, the diet, the regimens. That's been the case for some time now. But now with Saturn retrograde, there's a lot of things to re-examine, a lot of things to learn, I feel like, about your routine and stuff right now at the moment and for the next 5 months. Maybe there's some things you can re-examine and redo about that so it is a bit more structured. Now, along with that, Chiron is conjoining up to that South Node still. Nothing new here, but there is some healing taking place maybe with your perspective of career, maybe some old notions, some unhealthy patterns around it perhaps, and maybe some healing you can do involving that area. So that's continuing. Now, Venus is going to go over this conjunction this week, Tuesday and Wednesday, accentuating it. So when it does come to these enjoyments, and I think with these values that you can certainly have with career, you know, in that sense, there are some, again, old things being released. And what's specifically being released are maybe some values about it, you know, some enjoyments that you have about it that are either any over or under extremes with it. Or maybe there's some healing about confidence or self-assertiveness when it comes to the career or legacy stuff as well. Now, Venus does rule your 12th and your 5th house, so there could be some healing with your self-expression, maybe some major transformations happening with your self-expression, and maybe having a more non-attached perspective of the career stuff, which is that 12th house, maybe a bit more of a relaxing approach. But it's all about balance, because it's suggesting that maybe there are some over or under extremes associated with that you are coming to wholeness with and transforming with this early part of the week. Now, along with this, around Tuesday and Wednesday, your ruler Mercury is going to be squaring up to Pluto and trining up to Saturn. So in terms of Saturn, you do have a lot of support, a lot of momentum. I feel like where this routine stuff, these daily activities can really support your career right now at the moment. But with that, there might be some things with one-to-one relationships or connections that need to be integrated and taken nice and slow this week to be formulated with that square from Pluto in your 7th. Again, non-attachment when it comes to relationships, I think, is key. and being willing to really come from acceptance and compassion when dealing with others. Now on Thursday, your ruler is going to go over Uranus in that 10th house. So there is this perhaps wanting to have more freedom in your career, which has been an ongoing theme for many years, like 6 or 7 years. So with all of that freedom, there is this practical implementation of it, right? So listening to that, where you can maybe break free and make some changes so there is more freedom in your career life, but in a practical way, right? And how you can work with it. There might even be some energies where you are feeling like you want more freedom just generally in your life, since this is your ruler. So definitely things to listen to here, but they can be, implemented constructively and balanced this later part of the week. Might even have to do with home and family stuff, since Mercury does rule that 4th house of yours, or health, where you can create more spiritual freedom, because Uranus in Pisces is showing us it's all about acceptance, right? And that's where the freedom really lies. Now, over the weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we don't have any major aspects going on, but I do want to cover it. So the moon is going to be in Capricorn, your 8th house. I think it's an excellent weekend for intimacy, for diving deep into the deeper aspects of life, and all of that, again, can give you more illumination, more awareness in the still somewhat illuminating time by the end of the week with this eclipse cycle. All right, Gemini, so I hope you guys have an excellent week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.